In the ancient city of Damascus, amidst its bustling streets and serene mosques, lies a story of unwavering faith and discipline. Meet Tariq, a devoted father and protector who embodies the true essence of Islam. In a world where threats are both physical and ideological, Tariq's journey highlights why Muslims must train hard, not just to defend their families, but to uphold justice, discipline, and faith. This is a tale of strength, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of righteousness. Welcome to The Guardians of Faith, a journey of duty and discipline. Tariq grew up listening to stories of his ancestors, warriors, and scholars who upheld the tenets of Islam with unyielding strength. His father, Ibrahim, was a paragon of virtue, a man who embodied the principles of courage, discipline, and protection. Ibrahim had always taught Tariq that being a Muslim was not merely a matter of faith, but a commitment to a way of life that demanded both spiritual and physical fortitude. Son, Ibrahim would often say, our faith requires us to be strong in every aspect, to protect our families, to uphold justice, and to defend the weak. This is our duty, and it begins with discipline. Tariq absorbed these lessons, understanding that his father's words were not just teachings, but a living legacy he was destined to carry forward. As Tariq matured, he saw the world around him with clearer eyes. The threats facing his community were not only physical, but also ideological. He witnessed the challenges posed by those who sought to undermine the values of Islam, and he realized that his father's teachings were more relevant than ever. One evening, as the family gathered for a meal, Ibrahim spoke with a gravity that commanded attention. Tariq, it is time for you to begin your training in earnest. The world is changing, and we must be prepared. You must learn to protect, to be disciplined, and to stand firm in your faith. Tariq nodded, his resolve firm. He knew that this was his path, a journey that would require him to hone his body and mind, to become a guardian of his faith and family. Tariq's training began with the dawn. Each day, he rose before the sun, joining a group of young men from the neighborhood under the watchful eyes of seasoned mentors. Their training was rigorous, encompassing martial arts, endurance exercises, and strategic planning. But it was not merely physical. They studied the Quran, delved into the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and engaged in discussions about justice, compassion, and leadership. The training was intense, but Tariq embraced it with a passion. He pushed himself to the limits, driven by the knowledge that he was preparing not just for himself, but for his family and his community. He knew that in times of crisis, they would look to him for protection and guidance. One of the most challenging aspects of the training was learning discipline. The mentors emphasized that a true Muslim warrior was not just a fighter, but a paragon of self-control and moral integrity. Tariq learned to meditate, to control his emotions, and to maintain focus even in the most trying circumstances. There were moments of doubt and exhaustion, but his faith and the memory of his father's teachings kept him going. Ibrahim would often remind him, discipline is the foundation of strength. Without it, all your training is in vain. The day came when Tariq's resolve was put to the test. A neighboring village was attacked by bandits, and the call for help reached Al-Qamariya. Tariq and his fellow trainees were summoned to defend the villagers and restore peace. As they prepared for battle, Tariq felt a mix of fear and determination. He remembered his father's words and the countless hours of training. This was his moment to prove his worth, to show that he had embraced the path of discipline and protection. The confrontation was fierce, but Tariq fought with a strength and precision that astonished even his mentors. His training had paid off, and the bandits were driven away. The villagers were safe, and Tariq realized the true power of his faith and discipline. In the aftermath of the battle, Tariq returned to Al-Qamariya as a hero, but more importantly, he returned with a deeper understanding of his purpose. He had protected his family and community, upheld justice, and demonstrated the true essence of his faith. His journey of training and discipline had not only made him a warrior, but also a leader. He knew that this was just the beginning. that his commitment to protection and discipline would continue throughout his life. Years passed, and Tariq became a respected figure in Al-Qamariya. He married Amina, a woman of grace and wisdom, and they were blessed with children. Tariq knew that the legacy of discipline and protection must be passed on. He began to teach his children the same lessons his father had taught him. They learned about faith, strength, and the importance of discipline. He ensured that they understood their responsibilities as Muslims, not just in times of conflict, but in their everyday lives. Tariq's eldest son, Hassan, showed great promise. Like his father, he was eager to learn and protect. Tariq watched with pride as Hassan embraced the training, displaying the same determination and resolve that had driven him. One evening, Tariq took Hassan aside. "My son, our faith and our family depend on our strength and discipline. You are now the guardian of this legacy. Protect your family, uphold justice, and always remember the teachings of our faith." Hassan nodded, understanding the weight of his father's words. He knew that this was his path, a journey that would require him to be strong, disciplined, and unwavering in his faith. As the years went by, Tariq continued to train and guide the young men of Al-Qamariya. He saw in them the same potential and dedication that had driven him. He knew that the cycle of duty and discipline would continue, ensuring that their community remained strong and united. Tariq often reflected on his journey, grateful for the lessons his father had imparted. He understood that the call to train hard in Islam was not just about physical strength, but about embodying the principles of faith, discipline, and protection. Tariq lived to see his grandchildren, each of them carrying the legacy of their forefathers. He watched with pride as they trained, learned, and grew into strong, disciplined Muslims. He knew that the values he had instilled in them would endure, ensuring that their community remained resilient and steadfast. In the twilight of his years, Tariq stood in the mosque of Al-Qamariya, the call to prayer echoing through the air. He felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that he had fulfilled his duty. The legacy of discipline, protection, and faith would live on through his children and grandchildren. As Tariq aged, his influence extended beyond his family. He became a pillar of the Al-Qamariya community, organizing events and workshops to instill the values of discipline and protection in the younger generations. He understood that a united community was a strong community, and he worked tirelessly to foster a sense of unity and purpose among the residents. One day, a group of elders approached Tariq with a proposal. They wanted to establish a training center where young men and women could learn the principles of self-defense, discipline, and Islamic values. Tariq wholeheartedly supported the idea, seeing it as a way to ensure that future generations would continue to uphold the legacy. The Al-Qamariya Training Center was established with the help of volunteers and donations from the community. It quickly became a beacon of hope and strength, attracting students from neighboring areas. The center offered courses in martial arts, Quranic studies, and community leadership, creating a holistic approach to training that encompassed both physical and spiritual growth. The establishment of the training center brought new challenges. Some people were skeptical, questioning the need for such rigorous training in peaceful times. Others feared that the emphasis on self-defense might lead to violence. Tariq faced these criticisms with patience and wisdom, explaining that the true purpose of the training was to cultivate discipline, protect the innocent, and uphold justice. Strength and discipline are not about seeking conflict, Tariq would explain. They are about being prepared to defend what is right and just, to protect our families and our way of life. Our faith teaches us peace, but it also teaches us to be strong in the face of adversity. Over time, the success of the training center silenced its critics. The students not only became skilled in self-defense, but also emerged as confident, disciplined individuals who contributed positively to their community. They organized charity events, helped those in need, and became role models for younger children. Tariq's son, Hassan, became a prominent figure at the training center. He took on the role of a mentor, guiding young trainees with the same wisdom and dedication that his father had shown him. Hassan's leadership was characterized by compassion and firmness, and he earned the respect and admiration of all who trained under him. One of Hassan's most promising students was a young woman named Layla. She joined the training center with a fierce determination to learn and protect her family. Layla's skills quickly surpassed those of her peers, and she became an inspiration to other young women in the community. Under Hassan's guidance, Layla embraced the values of discipline and protection, proving that strength and faith were not confined to gender. The true value of the training center was put to the test when a severe drought struck the region. With resources dwindling and tensions rising, Al-Qamariya faced the threat of unrest and conflict. Tariq, Hassan, and the other leaders of the community knew that they had to act swiftly to prevent chaos. They mobilized the students of the training center, organizing patrols to maintain order and distribute supplies fairly. Layla played a crucial role, using her leadership skills to coordinate efforts and mediate disputes. The discipline and training of the students proved invaluable as they worked tirelessly to keep the peace and support their fellow residents. Through their collective efforts, Al-Qamariya weathered the crisis. The community emerged stronger and more united, with a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude. Tariq and Hassan were proud of what they had achieved, knowing that their dedication to training and discipline had made a tangible difference. As Tariq neared the end of his life, he often reflected on the journey that had brought him to this point. He thought about the lessons his father had taught him, the challenges he had faced, and the legacy he had built. He saw in Hassan and Layla the continuation of a tradition that spanned generations, a commitment to faith, strength, and protection. One evening, Tariq gathered his family and close friends for a final lesson. He spoke about the importance of maintaining their values and staying true to the teachings of Islam. He emphasized that the training center was not just a place of physical conditioning, but a symbol of their collective resilience and faith. "Remember," Tariq said, his voice filled with emotion, "our strength comes from our faith, our discipline, and our unity. We are guardians of our community, protectors of justice, and upholders of peace. Let this legacy continue, for it is the heart of who we are." Tariq passed away surrounded by his loved ones, leaving behind a legacy that would endure for generations. The training center continued to thrive, expanding its programs and reaching even more young people. Hassan and Layla, along with other dedicated mentors, carried forward the principles that Tariq had instilled in them. The story of Tariq and his family became a source of inspiration, not just for the residents of Al-Qamariya, but for Muslims everywhere. It served as a reminder that the call to train hard in Islam was not about seeking conflict, but about being prepared to uphold justice, protect the vulnerable, and live with discipline and integrity. The years rolled on, and the neighborhood of Al-Qamariya flourished. The training center became a renowned institution, attracting visitors from across the country and beyond. Scholars, leaders, and students came to learn about the unique blend of physical training and spiritual education that defined the center's philosophy. Hassan, now an elder, looked back on his life with a sense of fulfillment. He had seen the impact of their efforts firsthand, witnessed the transformation of countless young men and women, and ensured that Tariq's vision continued to shape the community. Layla, too, had become a respected leader, advocating for women's empowerment and playing a key role in the center's success. The legacy of discipline, protection, and faith remained the cornerstone of Al-Qamariya's identity. It was a community that stood strong in the face of adversity, united by a common purpose and guided by the timeless teachings of Islam. The story of Tariq and his family is a testament to the enduring values of Islam. It highlights the importance of training hard, not just for physical strength, but for the protection and well-being of one's family and community. It underscores the need for discipline, self-control, and unwavering faith in the face of challenges. Through the generations, the legacy of duty and discipline continues, reminding us all that the true strength of a Muslim lies in their commitment to faith, family, and the principles of justice and protection. As long as these values are upheld, the community of Al-Qamariya, and indeed the wider Muslim Ummah, will remain resilient, united, and strong.